Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Pathfinder Second Edition campaign, session 53. Is that right? I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome. How's everyone doing?
yeah.
Doing
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
Kind of exhausted, but
there's a slug. I've just found a slug on my desk.
oh,
Richard,
What?
could you
That's
come
so lucky.
and remove the slug?
I'm wired in.
Ah,
Get a cup or something. I don't
Legend point if you eat it.
no.
Don't eat slugs. Don't do that.
That's
Get-
how you get worms in your lungs and die.
yeah, you
Mm.
get trichinosis or something.
Maybe don't.
This thing the dogs
Right. we're a bit late, so we'll try and just get on with it, shall we? So
Went out the window.
awesome. If everyone is ready and has got everything they need, last we left off, the party team tag had just gotten onto their captured ship that they have acquired from the banking guild. After helping Prince Holthisius and a number of various other allies in the city of Lenora, and defeating Malathar after his attempt at sort of doing something to a ship, you have gone on your way back to Port Edrin now. You're heading on the open ocean. A few days' journey with the assistance of some crew that you've hired in Lenora. Yeah, so I guess we'll just get straight into it. So we're on the 4th day of summer. The ocean is calm. Let's just start on the next day, shall we? Because I think that's going to be a day of travel. So, all right. So yeah, the morning breaks. Hang on, just bear with me. Okay. So it's a rather calm day. Where am I on my notes? Hang on, sorry, I'm still using Google Docs. Yeah, the ship lists gracefully in the open water. Sun shining down on you. It's a warm summer's day. What would you like to get up to, if anything? Had any ideas?
I would like to check on the explosive barrels.
Yep.
Make sure they're properly sealed and watertight and not at liberty to explode if a match falls in their vicinity.
No, that's all right. So, yeah, heading down into the bottom storage hold, or the hull of the ship, you notice that all the barrels and all the gunpowder and all the powder is very well kept. It's very kept in order. They're all tagged, and you know how old they are, and you know which ones are going to run out of date. And none of them seem to have. They all seem to be like wax lined. They all have like a lining of wax around all the rims, so water's not going to easily trickle in there. And the way that you sort of open it is you just break the wax off, and then you just use a crowbar or something to get into the powder. Although you do notice the 3 prisoners just still chained up in the hold. They go,
Oh,
please, some water.
wait. Has no one been giving you water?
No.
Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, I'll go get them some water.
All right.
I'll grab some food while I'm up there as well. I'm assuming if they're not being watered, they're not being fed either.
Yeah, no. You grab some like biscuits or whatnot, and a pitcher of water. You slide it over to them. They all sort of ferociously start gulping it down, eating, and filling themselves up. Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that. Look, no, you're prisoners, but didn't want you to. Yeah, didn't mean to do that.
What do you intend with us? Are you going to kill us?
Well, we're going to take you back to Port Dalron, and
Edrin.
sorry. Yeah, take you back to Port.
That's a long journey.
Take you back to Port Edrin, and well, let's be honest, just see what they do with you. Gonna turn you over.
They'll hang us.
Well, that was a bit awkward.
Please, we were just part of this vessel we just hired for the job. We had no idea what the plan was.
Well, going back to his experience in Port Edron, do they have like proper court and stuff, or is it kind of just you're guilty?
They do have courts.
Kangaroo.
Whether they're like
Corrupt.
yeah, they're not amazing. They're probably not amazing. You can hire lawyers and stuff.
Right. Well, you'll have your day in court to argue your case. You know, ultimately, men are needed on both sides, so maybe keep that in mind.
One of them in the corner sort of speaks up and says, what if we give you some secrets? Would you let us go then?"
Some secrets.
Yeah, like just things we overheard from the captain and Don Marine.
Well, I mean, if you got important information, then that could definitely swing things a bit. I'm sure they make a deal with you.
I'd rather just give us a life raft and set us. We don't want to go to Port Edron.
How far away are we from the coast at this point?
You're probably like maybe a day and a bit's travel, I think.
Not sure you could. Yeah, not sure you could row to the coast from here, mate. No.
just give us some water. We'll just float. We don't want to go to one.
What kind of information you got?
News from Imiana. Well, promise to let us go first.
Well, I mean, I could get in trouble if I just let you guys go, you know. Wouldn't do well.
Make a diplomacy check.
Okay. To be clear, I'm more just asking the type of the information, not necessarily the exact. I'm not trying to get them to give up their cards.
No, yeah.
There you go. Oh no.
Yeah, they don't want to give up really anything. It's good information, we promise.
Right. I'm gonna have a chat to the others, and I'll see what we can do. All right. There's there's no need for Port Edron to necessarily be your end. You know.
Yeah, they nod and sort of let you communicate with your friends. So you go up and meet them. People are just sort of hobbling around the ship, just doing their thing.
Guys.
Hi.
Do you remember we starred those prisoners down there?
Oh shit! Are they still alive?
Yeah, they are. They were all alive, right?
The ones you took, yeah.
Yeah. Still all alive. They were a bit gaunt, but
understandably, I think they must have not had water or food for days now.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed someone else was going to do it.
Me too.
You lot sort of same, yeah.
Oops.
I completely forgot about them.
I did as well.
They're easy to forget about down there.
Yeah, they don't make much noise, do they?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, especially on the lower deck, you can't really hear anything going on down there.
Right. So, one of them says that they've got some information
Oh,
about Don Marine and that, and
right.
something about news from Imiana. Obviously, it's their bargaining chip to avoid the Angman. But
They want us to let them go.
yeah, they want us to just give them a rowboat and let them be on their way. Not sure that would actually work out so well for them.
I mean, they will definitely die. We're at least a day's sail away from any land.
Yeah. honestly probably worse than being hung, right?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, as our resident has died at sea.
It's not particularly nice drowning, I will tell you that.
We could gut him.
Wait, what? How'd you get to we could gut?
Hang on. I was going to make that suggestion.
That
Why
was
are you
a-
making it? That's a me thing to say, not you.
I'm just saying, like, if we're going to be throwing ideas out there, it is an idea. I'm not saying it's a good one, but it's an
Or-
idea.
Or, now hear me out, we could extract the information first and then gut them.
I mean, we could dress them up like fish and make them flop around on the deck. That doesn't mean it's even. What?
We could.
What?
I
Why?
got an idea.
I'm saying get the information first, at least.
I could pretend to be trying to get them out.
Cascus, what do you think?
He kind of puts his feet up on like a barrel or something as he's kind of outside on the top deck. What would I do in this situation?
You're not opposed to a little torture, are you?
No, it is needed. Why don't you leave it to me?
I don't-
24 hours.
I'm
No,
not.
I
I'm not
actually
sure.
am a bit
Really.
opposed to some torture.
I-
I'm
well-
not a
Well, you
fan.
don't have to be part of it. We can go into it.
I'm not sure it's. Look, if it's needed, maybe, but I just don't think it's really necessary
Well,
here.
look, they're going to
And
buy
honestly,
it.
Cascus, I'm not really keen on that smile while you talk about it.
Just kill one of them, and then the other ones will talk.
I think
But
they're
that's
willing.
just not, that's not much better than torture.
You know, I think if we get to Port Edrin, they're willing to just talk. You know, just
I promised
offer it as
them
like
to,
a.
cookie
hey,
as food.
They give us They give information. Wait, what?
It's true, we could use Cookie in this situation, actually.
Wait, you promised them to cookie as food.
He gets a little nail file out and starts filing his fingers slightly. Yes, I
Wait,
did.
hang on, I'm not food for us.
No, for whatever he wants to do.
Okay, that's fine. I have no problem.
I mean, if they do have information that's going to be useful to the war effort,
Look,
then it's our duty to bring them back intact, right?
I think we
Or
let,
get the information out of them.
I will sit in with Cookie tonight. I will encourage him to find some new spices or something, and then as he dangles them over the pot, they will say their secrets.
I like it.
I,
Plan.
I don't really like this.
yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm going to be
let's put it to a
honest.
vote. Cyan?
So I'm
Sorry?
opposed to cooking. Are you opposed to cooking
I'm
the
not saying
prison?
necessarily Cookie. I just
I-
think you dangle them.
I'm very opposed to cooking them. I'm okay with threatening them, but I don't want them being cooked.
It's only threatening. It is only threatening.
What if we butcher them first and then they're cooked?
No,
Well,
this is-
honest-
No,
I'm-
no.
I'm not sure. There's
Cannibalism's
any,
a no.
I'm
we
not
don't
sure
have to
there's
eat
any reason.
Cookie meat.
I'm not sure there's any reason to do that though. They seem perfectly willing to spill the beans in some kind of plea deal or whatever with the authorities in Port Edrin.
Yeah, I was hoping
Okay.
we could just sell them. I mean,
How about we
sell
get
their
the
information.
Get the information, and then we throw them overboard.
That's not really fair, though.
Well, we can give them a little dinghy or something.
Yeah,
Enough
when
room
we're
for one of them.
closer to the port, maybe.
No, they're just caught up on one side of the wall, right? They're not. It's not like these aren't the decision makers, you know. These aren't the shakers and
so we don't
movers.
need-
They're just a few pawns.
They're just going to eat up our supplies.
Oh, we can afford it.
We have enough supplies.
Yeah, it's like hushing voices so that like the people around don't hear. It's like you remember how much we're going to get for this ship, right?
True.
And that coin purse there, after the gauntlet, has been weighing a lot more heavily on your side than it ever has before. We can afford a few days' rations for 3 people. It won't
we
make a
don't
dent.
need to.
You really gonna murder 3 people for like 1 gold?
I'm Fine.
I thought your price for murder might be a bit higher than that. Not gonna lie.
It's not that high, if I'm completely honest. But I say we at least get the information out.
Dunno.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that like, if they're willing to give you personally that information, some information that might be helpful. If you torture them, they'll give you whatever information that means that you know. You know.
I don't want to do any talk.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think it's probably you guys are supposed to be heroes. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine voice in my head, no torture.
As for like the information they have, like it's gonna come out no matter what. But it's whether you want to have that or whether you want the merchant company to have that. Something you can vet first. It's your choice.
Yeah, I think we should get them to tell us and then let them off the boat, like near with a dinghy, so they can actually get to the edge. For safety.
Fine.
So who wants to talk to them?
I'll talk to them.
Anyone
Alright.
else?
I'll be there.
What should I say?
All right. So you're gonna start making your way down to the hole.
I'll come with the friendly face that fed the.
I guess all of you will just come then.
No. I would like to go with just. They can stand outside, but I would
There
like
was
to
a
go
stand
just
in the
in.
corner.
Just Hanera just picks you up and throws you
Throws me upwards.
at the stairs, bouncing off them up.
All right. The three sailors sit up as you arrive. They look quite nervous.
We can do a good cop, bad cop situation. Hello. It's nice to
Hello?
meet you. What are all your names?
Are you gonna kill us?
I'm not gonna kill you.
But we might.
Hank is gonna be here as well. Yeah, I'll just have Hank like walk around the corner at this point, and just sit down.
I'm not going to kill you. How you die is going to be up to you.
Right.
I was thinking that as we get closer to Port Edron, maybe you could tell us all this exciting information my associate here has told me that you know. And we could give you a raft, and you could row yourself to the shore near the Port Edron, but not Port Edron. So then you can
Anything.
come into the town anonymous.
Anything. They'll hang us as traitors.
Okay. So what do you know?
One of the people, the third who hasn't spoken yet, says, Rene, don't tell them. Don't speak. Don't say anything. We made a vow.
Oh, Rene. Come
Rene
on.
Rene looks at him and says,
Have you got any family?
yes,
Well, any children?
yes.
What children do you have?
Lost count.
Well, you'd want to get home to
Player.
them, right?
He's a sailor. Go on. He says, it's. Well, I overheard Don Marine talking with the captain. Not that much longer since he left the ship at first. We were gonna head back to Imiana, and then we were going to lead a fleet to Kelris
Oh.
to help in the attack on the south.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's really good information. Thank you.
Have you got anything we could verify this with?
Yes. I mean, Don Marine carried notes. I mean, maybe he left some. He had the captain's logs hidden somewhere in his study.
Alright. I'll just kind of look to Cyan. Are you lingering around like
I'm
the map says
on
you're-
it.
Okay.
I asked them to be on the other side of the door, but they could probably still hear.
Yeah, they're just listening.
Glass up against the wall. Oh well, that was really good information.
We
Thank you.
we was yes, we were supposed to be back around the 20th day of summer, and then we would have been there for about a week, and then the invasion would have been after that.
So 27th of summer is when it was meant to begin.
What's the day now? I don't know how to get the thing back up on you.
It's the calendar symbol.
Yeah, it's the SC symbol on
Okay, thank you.
the left.
Oh yeah.
Right, so
Is that
50
seasonal
day.
calendar? Is that what those?
I think
that
it's
means?
Simple
calendar.
calendar.
Simple calendar. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's just the name of the plugin.
Is it the 20th of summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the 5th now.
Yeah.
So 27th is when they were going to be setting it off.
No, I thought they were.
Well, they said they were going to be there a week and then...
I thought they were going to get there on the 20th, and then.
They're getting there on the 20th. They'll be there for a week, and then they'll be heading off. That'll be the 22nd. The 27th is when the fleet is leaving for Calria.
You know, that's pretty good information, you know. Why didn't... I feel like you could have just given that to the people in Port Edron, right?
Yeah, and
That's
then
an
they would have
easy
hung us.
That's an easy bargaining chip.
Then they would have hung us for treason anyway. We know what they're like.
Just kind of think about it. Do they play the bargaining card much? Or...
They execute people a lot. Port Edron is renowned for quite
Okay.
heavy-handed punishment, and they
yeah.
and like it makes sense for them, like in a time of war, to be very heavy-handed with potential captured sailors. Like,
Yeah.
set an
How
example.
many are in this fleet? How many boat ships?
Well, it's at least the vast majority of the banking guild fleet. I'm not sure how many that is entirely.
A rough estimate.
It's hard to say without knowing the exact make of ships, and at least 100.
That's a lot of boats. Okay. Thanks. This is good information. We're just gonna check the captain's log and see if it's all true.
Got
You've
anything
done
else?
a really good job. Well done.
Henning, kind of listening in above, Vance whispers in your ear and says, "I feel something strange. Just be aware.
Strange how?
A strange shift in the magics around us."
Right. Okay.
Uh,
Warning.
You begin to hear like a few of the crew members on top of the ship start like shouting. You're not quite sure what they're saying. It's obviously they're a distance away.
Okay, I'm going to
There's-
shout down to the bottom deck. We've got a problem up down.
Okay. I'm gonna raise a shield and begin to come up.
Yeah, we'll head, to
As
the,
well.
head to the top.
All right, so heading to the top. I'm just going to move Jarl off the ship. So heading to the top deck, you see a number of the crew sort of crowded around, like there's like a swirling kind of cloud which is just swirling above the ship. There's like a sudden flash of lightning and a brief whirlwind kind of shoots down onto the deck of the ship, and then it dissipates and the wind just completely disappears. And you see this figure cloaked in a black robe casually standing on the deck. He pulls down his hood, and you see a pale but kind of quite handsome figure, middle-aged, with short cropped black hair, dashed with kind of grey and kind of specks of white. Underneath his cloak, he kind of just like takes it off and just puts it down on the deck. He seems to be wearing a black jacket with a white dress shirt and kind of a cravat underneath it. He says, "Greetings. I am looking for the captain of this vessel." And he
Henning will
bows.
step forward. That would be me.
He straightens up and fixes his jacket. "Greetings. Did you say your name?"
No. My name is Captain Henning Dyer.
Henning. "My name is Shias," and he bows deeply towards you. "I will not bother you for long. I represent a party who has taken an interest in your affairs.
And who might they be?
My benefactor wishes to remain anonymous, but has discovered that you are in possession of an important relic, and he wishes to purchase it from you."
What, me personally, or somebody on this ship?
"From whoever it so far belongs to."
Can you tell us what this relic is? So,
The relic of which I speak is, of course, a grimoire. One which I'm sure that none of you have the capabilities of truly understanding.
Fuck you.
He sort of smiles a little bit and grins towards you.
sorry, what was his name? I just missed it.
Shias. Let me just put that on here. He says, "My benefactor would very much like to be reintroduced with such an item."
I don't know of the grimoire you speak of, I'm afraid.
Yeah, sorry, we don't have any grimoire.
Is that a lie?
Yep.
All right, both of you make.
I mean, to be fair, she
Perception
doesn't
check.
know that it's a grimoire, but Joanne does. But Anera doesn't.
It was described as a grimoire, but I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is the. Now I.
Has
I
Hanera
wasn't lying.
has Hanera disclosed this grimoire to the party?
I don't know.
I think I unlocked the box.
Yeah, it was Cyan who unlocked the box, and only
Yeah, I don't think I would have kept it a secret even if I
Oh, was
hadn't
this-
said it in game.
Was this found on the ship when we were looking around?
Yeah, it was
It's
on
that
in
big
lockbox.
scary book.
Hmm.
I don't think we should give it to them.
Potentially, this guy thinks we're not.
Would you like me to do a deception check?
If you're gonna lie to him,
I am.
Do I need to do as well? 'Cause it's-
if you're gonna lie to him, yes.
Yes. It's not Henning's best trait.
32.
Ooh, no.
You didn't need to lie, but.
The figure kind of raises an eyebrow and says, "My benefactor does not make mistakes. He is willing to pay a vast prize for such an item."
Tell
And
me
is
who
there
your
any
ben-
specifics?
Sorry, one person at a time. What did you say, Hanera?
Tell me who your benefactor is, and maybe we can talk.
That cannot be done. He reaches into his pocket and produces a vial filled with what seems to be like a kind of silvery liquid. Shaking it as to tempt you. He says, "His payment for your custom, immortality." Vance whispers in your ear, Henning, and says, "Do not trust him. This is no toothless messenger. He is not as he seems."
Is that different to the liquid that we saw Kaidos drink?
It looks identical.
Okay.
I
Does
can't
he
remember
look
what it was
similar to the
called.
figure that Kaidos was speaking to?
The figure that Kaidos was speaking to remained hooded, I think, for the entire thing. So you didn't actually ever see his face. This person seems to speak differently, and he seems to carry himself a bit differently.
Okay.
Forgive me if I say we don't particularly trust you or that vial of mysterious liquid.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it's a bit weird. Someone coming in, offering to buy something for just a vial of
Forever juice.
silvery, viscous stuff.
Does that
I-
only not work on elves?
I assure you, the figure says, my benefactor has no desire to see any of you harmed. He grins out the corner of his mouth, revealing kind of like quite sharpened teeth, almost. He says he seeks to rid the world of the burden of death.
But nope, no. Death is a necessary fact of life.
Saya's gonna just kind of like eye Henning like, are you fucking serious?
What?
His eyes are gonna narrow.
Oh, now I get why you're mad. Okay.
It's complicated.
Well, that's different. That's different. That's different. Anyway,
Can I
Think.
what do we kind of what the clothes he's wearing? Does it give us an impression of his background?
Yeah, make a society check.
I'm so terrible at adding things to my inventory. I'll add it in now, so don't forget that about it.
Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button. Society. Here we go.
I mean, you were really good at adding things to your inventory in the
Yeah, alright.
game 0.
Oh, damn. Natural 20. Yeah, you, Cascus, you recognize his dress style. It's rather outdated, but he is wearing the traditional dress, the old dress style of Carnea.
Knew it. I knew you were gonna say that. No, he's not having the book.
No.
I think
Would-
it's
Would
a
we know
resounding
much
no.
about? Would we know much about Kanye?
You probably not.
Okay.
Cascus
Cascus might,
and
because of-
Henning, yeah.
Probably would know enough, like a
Yeah, I
passing
assume
amount.
Hanera would only know the basics that she would have learnt at
Okay.
like when she was learning geography and stuff in school, but nothing.
I'm afraid we're going to have to decline your offer.
Very well. I can offer you a glimpse of my benefactor's power, if that will change your mind.
Is that a threat?
Go on
It's
then.
not a threat. He holds out his hand.
Cascus just goes up to touch it.
Okay, as you
Oh.
grab his
Is he
hand,
gonna die again? Negative damage. Negative damage.
you're suddenly transported in a flash of a moment to what can only be described as an infinite black void filled with screaming souls. A burning heat which never ends. It only fills your mind for a brief millisecond, but it's enough to send you chills down your spine. And as he takes his hand away, he says, "Hell is real, my friends," the figure says. "Keep yourselves out of it."
Trying to, but I see flames everywhere. Well, that was horrifying. I do not quite know why you showed me that or showed us that, but I think, like my friend said, for now we are going to politely decline. But is there a way to keep in contact?
My
In case we
benefactor will
change
be
our minds.
disappointed. There is no other way. You can either make this decision and hand us the book and take your prize, or my benefactor will not be happy.
Henning looks around the group to try and gauge the
No.
When
feelings.
When you say he won't be happy, do you mean like he'll come and try and stab us a bunch? Or like do you mean more that he will just be, relatively saddened?
I think probably, Cyan, they will probably want to kill us. That's usually how these things go. And it's how it's gone so
The
far.
figure bows again. Have a nice day. And then with a flash of lightning, he disappears.
Didn't answer my question. How rude. He portals himself onto our ship. He gets asked questions, and he doesn't even answer all of them.
And he threatens us. That was definitely a threat.
Yeah, these type like to leave it ambiguous. It's more ominous that way.
Maybe he feels like insecure, and it's his only way of ensuring he feels in control.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that won't come around to bite us in the arse.
I'm sure that's the very last time we've heard of him. And
Fine,
never see him again.
It's a grimoire, right? So I'll just write it all down, and then we can give it to them.
You know, it is strange. That gentleman was dressed in the clothes of Carnia, but Carnia has had nothing to do with lichdom for quite some time.
What the fuck is a carnier? And why do I hate it all of a sudden?
It's a place.
It's like a carnival, but way smaller.
And I was
It's a place in the other continent.
Warfare.
And they had a king. And then he just turned everyone into skeletons and then disappeared.
Skeletons.
That is
I
one
love how
in-
this story clearly has changed a bit.
I was gonna say, that
Since it got
is
started.
not the interpretation I heard when I went to traveled up to Barathon once upon a time.
Oh, what did you hear? That was
Oh.
it was in my book.
Well, unfortunately, your stories might be slightly skewed.
Right.
Oh, you
Al,
want me to
wrong
explain?
about something?
Come on then.
Well, it once began on a summer evening. I cannot actually remember. Can I remember the whole story? Yeah. It was said that many, many moons ago, the land of Carnia was cursed. Cursed by a foul necromancer who presided over the region by the name of Naruzata. I presume you've heard of him.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
the king.
yes.
That's the king.
King, tyrant, despot, lich, whatever word you want to use. And there was a tale, and some people say there was a party involved, but I do not know that side. But all I know that was that one day, much of the kingdom and its inhabitants turned to stone, seemingly overnight. And for a good while, I think it was a few months or so, they stayed that way. And Mike, can you remind me how it ended? I'm running on empty fuel. It seems you might have to carry on.
Yeah, what questions do you have?
No, so it was. I can't remember because I remember a bunch of people basically turned up and saw all the stone people and were like, "Well, this is kind of weird."
Yeah.
But then I don't think we ever found out like what happened to those people.
So the story that you would have heard was that Naruzatar was confronted by his council with aspirations of change, and Naruzatar in rage opened up a weapon known as an Elder Box, which hasn't been opened for tens of thousands of years. 5,000 years at least, turns the entire nation into stone as penance for his crimes, for their crimes. Naruzatar wasn't seen again after that. He's sort of gone missing.
Yeah, what he said.
Okay.
People assumed
Well-
he had died, or assumed that he had gone off, maybe somewhere far away.
On vacation.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah,
that what we should know based on for the past campaign, or is that what our current characters would know?
Or current characters, you know.
Your character, yeah, like there's not really much else information that your characters, I think, would know.
So yes, it is slightly odd that the gentleman was wearing garbs of Carnea and interested in necromancy. There has not been a necromancer in Carnea for many years.
Yeah, do
Perhaps
we
it has
know
returned.
this, that the Book of Wild Darkness is?
You don't know what that is.
Is that what? Okay, is that not what it is?
It doesn't seem. Well, it's hard to tell, but it doesn't seem to be what you think it might be.
Okay.
Is there a Book of Wild Darkness in this campaign setting, or is that just us
Well,
saying a
we
thing?
encountered it in the last
You're,
campaign.
that's just obvious metagaming. To suggest
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
I couldn't
I mean,
remember. if
we
were-
wouldn't. Yeah, like, these characters wouldn't know, but we
No,
did encounter
but, like,
it in the
yeah.
last campaign.
Yeah, you encounter it in the last campaign, but it's not something that is common knowledge.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I was wondering. I couldn't remember.
Additionally, the
work
book.
it out or not.
Additionally, the Book of Wild Darkness, like it, like maybe some of you would have heard of it, like, but this definitely. Is.
Right. I was just asking because some campaign settings don't deal with that kind of stuff, and others do.
Oh yeah, no, it's. I'm just gonna say it's not that. And
Aw.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So it's in a different language, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I want to. Can I Is it? What, is it still the same script?
What has it changed?
As in, is it the same script as like Elven or Common, or is it like?
Oh no, it's
Chinese.
its own script. It's kind of like cuneiform or something.
Okay. So I probably can't. It'll be hard to write it, copy it.
Yeah, this is like an ancient writing style from Eshmelan.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. I would like to. I
Are
want
there
to-
any particular tales? I'm asking the party. Are there any particular tales of evil magicians in Ashmalan, or
Yeah. There's Septus. I think.
Yep.
Yep. Septus, the necromancer.
who? Can't say I've heard of that one.
Yeah, he's the one that the king from that turned everyone into skeletons or statues. He killed him because he didn't like that he was in competition. Maybe they think because I'm such a powerful caster and now I have this book that I'm going to be competition. But I don't really like necromancy. It's a bit creepy.
Vance appears and says, "So there's someone offering out immortality like candy. This isn't good."
Well,
Oh, Vance.
was it
can
really
you-
immortality or something else?
Can Vance read the book?
Are you asking him to read it?
Yeah, I'm just saying, can you read this script in this language?
I can.
Please, can you tell me what it says, or just an idea?
I haven't read it.
Well, I'm holding it up.
Okay, he's showing it. He squints for a moment and tries to read it, and he says, "I think that's enough of that," and closes it.
Well, what's the gist?
This is not any book, not any grimoire.
It's not an
Okay.
erotica, is it?
Oh, it's not something weird, is it?
What's an erotica?
Oh,
Well,
you have
you
so much to
seem
learn.
Stop. Okay, this is serious. Please, Vance, go on. Excuse my comrades.
This is what's known as a phylactery.
Okay.
Would everyone kind of recognise that term? Or
Yeah.
oh,
What
I
is
don't
it?
think
Whoa.
Nera would know what phylactery was.
Okay, well, if you don't know.
Yeah.
What does it
A phylactery is a very crude way of attaching one's soul to another object. There is
Oh.
someone out there who has found this missing, and is probably looking forward to getting it back.
Is there a way of
Oh.
telling whose soul is connected to it?
There is a way.
Probably that benefactor he was talking about, right?
More than likely.
You'd be pretty
Well,
pissed.
yeah,
if
but if
yours
we can
went
find
missing.
out whose soul is connected to this without talking to him about his benefactor, then we can find out without him needing to tell us.
Hmm.
If there's a way to identify a residue of a phylactery, if we gave this to a well-renowned wizard that we could trust.
So
Perhaps.
it's a grimoire, right? Does it have spells in it?
Most of the writings contained inside are either the Lich's notes or some evil spells that keeps the magic of the phylactery going.
Ah,
Nothing that would be too of use to any of you, I hope.
Proprietary stuff.
No, it wouldn't be any use, but just if I was interested, you know, for research purposes, what do the spells do?
Well, it contains the major spell, which is the one which caused whoever wrote this book to ascend to lichdom. But I have a question about this benefactor. This benefactor seems to be able to create some sort of elixir which gives immortality. That's very different to the sort of magic that is required to create a lich.
I do not understand. Can you please say that again a bit slower?
Well, assuming whoever this benefactor is, they have mastery of immortality themselves, surely. They have an elixir which can ascend mortals into immortal form. So why would one need a phylactery?
Maybe
Yeah,
because it's
like-
not for himself. Maybe those that take it are bound to him in some way. Maybe he's got like some power over him. If these
Maybe it's
these are like
not his phylactery.
like with vampires, you know, they got like the whole sire thing going on. Maybe it's something like that.
It's a lot to think about.
Yes.
So back to this one way you mentioned for finding out whose soul's connected to it. What is this one way?
There is a ritual. It's difficult. And it's dangerous. If the lich is currently out there and is looking for this phylactery, it might be very dangerous indeed. It will open up a doorway, as so to speak, to them.
Right. So if they're tough shit, then we'll basically just handed it to them on a silver platter.
Exactly. But this benefactor seems to know of your ownership of it. Maybe it's because this benefactor has something to do with the banking guild and Kaidas's betrayal. Would make sense.
Is the
I mean, they
benefit
just
of
knew it was
having
on
the
the boat,
book
right?
really outweigh everything else in here? I mean, I do not want to have this agent on our backs all the time.
I mean, if it does just help him live, then
Can we destroy this?
It is
Oh.
destroyed. It is able to be destroyed. But again, destroying a lich's phylactery is difficult and has its own dangers.
I would much prefer doing that than. I mean, frankly, my preferred option is we just throw this over the side of the boat. But I know that some of you will be worried that he would find it.
With enough time, the phylactery will make its way back to the owner.
I'm all for
Liches have plenty of time.
Vance turns to another few pages and sort of points to a kind of script with like a few like almost drawings of people's faces screaming in it. And then he kind of flips through the rest of the book, and it's just like contorted monsters, people, sort of, you know, in breathing agony kind of forms. And he says, a lot of liches use phylacteries to store their victims' souls as well. Seems that this book is capable of harboring that as well.
Sorry.
He points to the drawings and says, these were all mortals once. Now they're here.
There is another point I want to bring up. He did warn us just now that hell is real. What would he mean by that?
Well, I imagine that's where we're going to go. If we don't give this back. What's the implication?
I mean, is not hell red and fiery? I mean, that's certainly my experience of it.
Was it not red and fiery for you?
I mean, it is at the moment.
Might have been a bit more of a metaphor, you know. That thing he showed you.
Maybe, you know, people have misconceptions about a realm they've never gone to. Maybe hell is just full of numerous different versions of torment for different people. I mean, some people, like Dragonborn tieflings or something, might enjoy a bit of fire here and there, you know, warm them up. Some people might prefer cold. Some people might detest the cold.
Yeah, I mean, there could be 100 different elves, you know. Like you say, it's subjective, but
Yeah.
you know, screaming in pain, floating through an endless black void. I think most people call that at least kind of hellish. I think
Not
it was.
threat.
I think it was just the threat. I think it wasn't so much. Oh yeah, this is the canonical hell. It is called hell. That is its name. I think this is hell with a lowercase h. You know.
It was very certainly going to be a threat.
There are realms, Vance says, which could be described as what you would know as hell, but usually they are controlled by powerful beings who are able to somehow tap into the passage of souls to the afterlife.
Do they just nick them, or do they have to like make a deal with them?
They have to. Souls at the point of death are often given a chance by dark forces, which is why a lot of people prescribe belief in gods. They prescribe, you know, the power of gods to guide them to the afterlife, because it takes a lot of will to make your way without being intercepted. Usually it requires some sort of belief in a higher entity. For those who are lost or damned or forgotten by whoever, whatever benevolent benefactors are out there, there's just those who like to prey on them, unfortunately.
So what you're saying is, if anyone makes us a deal, we don't take it, right? That what we're getting? Yeah.
Yes, if you find yourself dead and someone asking for
You
asking
mean
for a
almost
piece of you, yeah, say no.
you did almost exactly what you did with Head.
Yes, well, like I said, it's rather easy.
Great.
Well, if it was that easy, wouldn't we be seeing, you know, demons and the like just everywhere? Like all over the place?
Why would you assume that?
Well, if it's easy, they'd want to cause as much chaos as fucking possible, right?
Believe it or not, most people tend to live quite boring lives, and they go to their temple, and then when they die, they are guided to whatever is in the afterlife for them.
I don't
Plus,
imagine the demon
mean-
cares about that person's life. They could just want to, cause a bit of havoc.
I mean, from a demon's perspective, right? They're gonna die soon anyway. If they all live for like thousands of years or whatever, and you're gonna die in 50, they're probably just like, oh, I'll take a nap when I wake up. They'll be ready.
That's assuming that, well, greedy people and people who are evil are more likely to take certain deals. Let's just put it that way.
Might even seek them out.
Immortality has a cost. I can imagine that whoever this benefactor is not giving off immortality for no benefit to themselves. Let's say that. Yes, I'll have to think about it. This grimoire, this book, whatever it is, it must be important. Otherwise, this being would not have asked for it.
That's what I was thinking. Must be important. We need to find out who it is.
Or destroy it. Try to, I mean.
It would probably be easier to destroy it if we knew whose it was.
Yeah, well, if it's a good person.
I doubt it. People don't take Lichdom up to be good people.
They also don't do what that guy just did. That whole thing reeked of bad.
No. They might have been being good. You don't know. You don't know anything about them. Come on.
I mean,
you were the one who
capture
first of all said no.
Look, trying to live forever, I get it. Trying to get power, I get it. Being a bit creepy, doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anyone being creepy. But capturing people's souls, keeping them in eternal torture, that part, not quite on board with.
But what if they were bad people's souls?
Well,
honestly,
even then,
it doesn't really matter. There's
what about
nothing.
rehabilitation?
There's nothing
What
you
if they
can
were
do
like
in your
gnomes or
short life.
something?
There's nothing you can
What if
do
they
in your
were
life
what?
that's going to outweigh
Okay.
There's nothing you can do in your life that's going to outweigh an eternity of suffering. Anyone
Did
can
you
be
just say
redeemed
what
with
if
enough
they were
time.
gnomes?
No.
Wait, what do you have against gnomes?
I was joking. I don't have anything against it.
Everybody knows gnomes don't have a soul, so that.
No.
They can sell their soul and it's actually tricking the devil.
Damn you, gnomes!
Foiled again!
What if you have a ginger gnome? They're like negative
Now.
souls.
Yeah, a ginger gnome. Yeah. So Vance looks kind of spooked. He hands the book back. Keep that safe. They're gonna come for it. Be ready.
Is that something you're actually afraid of, Vance?
I am afraid of the damage that could be done by someone giving immortality to pretty much anyone who wishes to take it.
Yeah, I would think that's fair.
As for whoever this benefactor is, I hope they do not have too much power. If they have power over life and death, they may already be considered a god.
And they had to send a lackey to come get it, right? Maybe
Or
they're
they
not
just
in a
didn't
position
think
to
it's
be up and
worth-
about.
Or they just don't think it's worth their time.
Don't know. Seems pretty.
Rather,
I feel like your phylactery would be pretty important, right?
still, perhaps they thought we would simply hand it over.
Maybe.
It was interesting. That figure did not seem to have a corporeal form. Kind of like me. Seemed to be more of a projection.
He had sharp teeth.
Yes.
Is that anything you're familiar with? Any kind of creature or that can take that kind of shape?
I have no idea what it could be. I have my suspicions, but I'm not ready to elaborate on them yet.
How dramatic.
When you get to Port Edron, hopefully we can find someone who might be able to know a little bit more about this. Maybe where it comes from. And maybe a magister of some sort. Very well. The rest of the day is pretty chill after that. If there's anything y'all want to do first.
I'd like to search the captain's quarters for anything.
Yeah, like so you looked around before, you couldn't find anything before, and again, there doesn't seem to be anything here. Maybe Don Marine had those like notes on him when he came off the ship.
About a captain's hat.
There is a spare captain's hat. Yeah, it's like a
Henning's
feathered,
going to be putting that on now.
wide-brimmed kind of
No.
tricorn.
Yep, that's going straight on.
Embrace.
So I am.
Yes.
It's just a feeling, but I got a sneaky suspicion. If they took their oaths, you know, they might be still loyal to the banking guild. They could be feeding us false information, right? You know, tell them we're coming from the north, actually we're coming from the south or whatever.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Do you think you could maybe, you know, do your thing, stake them out a bit?
You mean shapeshift?
No, I mean just like listen in on them, see if they say things when they think no one's looking.
Right. So.
Or an error, actually. You got that prime thing, right?
Yeah, I have to go there and put it down.
I thought you could move it.
Don't mind me not putting anything suspicious down here.
I thought you could like have it move on its own.
Hold on. Yeah, I swear I get scrying and crying eye quite similar. I get them mixed up. Oh, you have to. You don't have to. Wait, no, sorry. You have to be able to see the location within 500 feet.
But then you can move it each turn, right?
Each round, you can either move the eye up to 30 feet, or move it up to 10 feet and see everything all around it.
Can you hear through it?
Ooh. Didn't think about that.
I don't know.
If it doesn't say you can hear, if it just says you can see, then I assume it should be see.
Yeah, probably.
It sees an almost. Yeah, it just sees.
Can't. I don't suppose you're an expert lip reader.
No.
But you, Cyan, you said you could transform.
I can transform into a fox. I don't know about you, but foxes aren't very common on a ship.
No, that is fine. I just knew I wondered if there was more to it.
Oh, you mean into another person?
I have no idea what they meant. I would know if you could turn into a little mouse. I do not know.
No, that sounds like druid stuff. I don't
I mean,
fuck with druid stuff.
I mean, if you can transform into another person, we could maybe you know, take one of them away for questioning, and then they, I mean, like, put some air quotes up, come back.
Okay, but what do we do with that other one?
You could
Or
just
just keep him somewhere.
sneak down there and hide.
All that, just that. I mean, that was mine. Yeah, or just sneak down and hide, right? Just hope they talk. Just might be a bit of an easier way to prompt them if you're there disguised as one of them.
Yeah. I might be able to suggest some kind of breakout and what they would do then.
Let's have a break maybe. Let's have a 15-minute break and then.
All right.
You can decide what you want to do. We'll come back in 15 minutes then.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
See
let's
you
have a early break.
see you in a bit. Tag, you're in.
Okay, thank you. So just before the break, the party were visited by a mysterious figure who was trying to get this grimoire, which was revealed by Vance to be a phylactery, clearly owned by some lich. You said no, even though he offered you a vial containing what he said was immortality. Oh, people keep ringing the doorbell. Hang on. I'm not going to answer it. So they can just wait. Okay, so
They can watch the stream if they want to wait.
yeah, exactly. Right. So yes. So the next day, let's go to the next day, shall we? Unless there's anything you want to do on that particular day. Day's travel. Oh, you wanted to speak. You wanted to speak to these people, didn't you? Or spy on them? What was your plan in the end?
What
Are
are we
this the
talking about?
people in the bottom, the
Yeah.
basement? The ship can have a basement, whatever it's called. Yeah, I think I'd like to carry on talking to them.
Okay.
I want to
Right.
try and befriend them.
Okay. You all right? So you go down and visit them. They are looking rather depressed down there. They're sort of whispering amongst themselves, and they shut up as you approach. They're just looking
Hello, fellas. How are we all doing?
the same as since you last asked.
So, have you got any more information for me? You haven't changed your mind?
Well, we figured that would be pretty considerable information.
Well, only one of you gave it to me, so that means only one of you gets to go in the boat, I think, doesn't it?
They they like look amongst themselves and say, no.
Okay, well, come on then. Give me something else to work with, and we'll think about it.
The person in the back who was sort of speaking up to Rene before is now saying, "See, I said we couldn't trust them. We're dead. They're going to kill us."
No, I'm not gonna kill you. Just give me something to work with.
Well, you've changed the deal already, so I'm not saying anything. And the
Well,
other
the
two
rest
like
of
look
us,
amongst
yeah.
themselves and like, Rene goes, "Wait, does that mean I can go?"
Well, it won't be safe for you to go yet, but we can go when you're a bit closer. Yeah, of course, you can go. You've done a really good job.
Make a deception check.
I don't think that's deception, is it? I think maybe it's more persuasion.
The other one says, make a diplomacy check."
Okay,
Oh, the
I
rest of
wasn't
us here.
trying to be deceptive. Oh no, I was trying to be manipulative.
There's not a manipulate check,
I
unfortunately.
know. That's why I mean I don't know.
Which is probably why
Diplomacy.
diplomacy is best. They don't like you. It's quite obvious.
Yeah, I think that's.
And now that you've suggested that you are potentially going back on the deal, they are refusing to give
I'm
any more
not going
information.
back on the deal. I thought that was the deal. That's what I actually thought the deal we had made.
Well, they have to give a piece of information each.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I agreed with them.
What if there's a finite amount of information they have? They're
I know.
just
Well, that was.
workers.
I was hoping that
last
would
one
mean that they
died.
would try and be a bit more forthcoming with the information.
But they don't. If they've only got one piece between two of them, that they would want to come forth before the other one does.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping would happen. That's what I was trying to go for. But if that is not what they thought, then like I said, it hasn't worked.
They are staring at you like if there wasn't a cell in between, they would be trying to garrote you probably. They're not very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of fair.
What about Renee? Was it Renee?
Renee.
Renee. Then just let him out on the ship.
Let me out, please.
Yeah. All right. Let's go up to the top, and you can have a walk back in the sun.
The other two are like, "Wait, what about us?" And
This sounds very suspicious.
Yeah, I know. And he'll. And
Renee, like, is just very suspicious of you. He doesn't like you very much. He says, No, without my comrades, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, let me just talk to the others and see what I can arrange. I go back to the group and I explain what I have accidentally done. And say I think we should let them all have a walk around on deck, and then let
No,
them,
No.
and then let them
No.
just get some
No.
sunlight. It will
You
improve
are
their
No.
making
mood.
this.
they're prisoners.
Make a hole in the side of the ship.
No.
No,
That is a
don't do
dumb.
that.
That is a
No,
very
don't
dumb.
do that.
Are
No.
you?
That's
Yeah. Are you
terrifying.
aware of how holes and water?
They are in the bottom
Oh,
of
this-
Yeah.
okay, okay, so-
How about
I mean, I could maybe think about installing like a window down there, but it's going to be tricky while we're at sea. It's
Why don't we move them up to a different bit of
No.
the ship?
No, they're
please.
in prison. They're prisoners. They're in the.
Well, they haven't actually done anything wrong.
They tried to kill us.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what they did or didn't do. What matters is they work for the banking guild.
Oh no, that's not fair.
I
You
mean, they're
would
just
work
It's
for the banking
entirely
guild.
fair.
You would have worked for the banking guild if they'd offered you more money.
No. I have been very clear from the get-go. I do not care about money.
I would have.
Either way,
I was aimed at the group, but yeah.
I'm not entirely fussed about the money, but
Would I be able to see the boat again? Is it?
You can just. I think you can just go on it, can't you?
Battle screen? No. Which one is the boat?
I don't think we have it as the in the list.
Oh, do you not? Hang on.
No.
Let me just have a look. I just need to find it again now.
Okay,
Oh.
thank you.
Also, maybe not right now, but is there any chance we could get access to add notes on the calendar? Because I noticed there's a notes thing where you click on a date.
I just assumed you could do that. Hang on.
I don't think we can. Maybe not
Oh,
necessarily now.
permission.
If it's
Oh, yeah.
hard,
No,
but
it's cool. I'm just gonna. There you go.
I
cheers.
think we need to try and earn their trust for them to like befriend them, to get them to be our friends rather than just
What? Why do you care so much?
because I want that information.
Well, they're
We
clearly
can-
not going to give you any more.
They are, sadly,
What if I
working for our enemy. Showing
only
them
because they're paying
kindness.
them more? What if we give them
Hang
some
on.
money?
Why are these really big? Oh, this is the wrong.
We
We
this
could
is
take
the-
them
Yeah,
out
that's
one
it.
by
Sorry,
one.
this is the wrong one. Hang on. I've got two.
We could take them out one by one and
I think this
Um,
is a terrible idea.
I can't find it. Sorry, I'm just having trouble finding it and focusing on other stuff. Did you? So, what did you want to use it for? Sorry.
I just wanted to have a look at it and see if there were any other places that were slightly nicer that had a window we could store them. I mean,
Yeah, I mean there's yeah, there are like rooms that you can lock. Just lock them in there. They're
Yeah.
a bit nicer. They got beds and stuff.
I think we should just leave them be. Like, they're not going to tell you anything more.
yeah, they will. They've got more information.
Do they, though?
Do they? You're really telling it like I feel like you're trying to compensate for the fact that you made a boo boo down there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to
what-
compensate. I'm just trying to fix it.
what happened to what we were talking about before of Cyan just listening in? Me and them, they're not going to just sit in silence all day, right?
Yeah, that's fair. But I feel like they'd be more likely to talk if they were somewhere nicer because they'd be happier. So they'd be
they're not
chatting
going to be
more.
happier because they're just going to try and escape.
It doesn't matter if
So
it's
what
the-
if they
if
try
it's
and
an-
escape?
It doesn't matter if it's an iron cage or a gilded one. They're in prison. They're not gonna care until they know that they're free and they're safe. It doesn't matter what we do to improve their situation. They're going to be here, and they do not want to be here.
But I don't think there's a problem if they just jump out because they're gonna die, aren't they? So.
But then we don't have the information.
But we're not gonna get the information, are we? If we just don't talk to them.
You don't always need to talk to someone to know what they know. You can listen in. You can eavesdrop.
Yeah, but I would say that counts as talking. They need to be
No.
more... No, they need to be Okay, they need to be talking, right, for us to get information from them.
Yes, but it's
I mean,
not
were they-
talking to them.
I mean, were they talking before you arrived?
If they're in a cell which doesn't have any beds or lights, they're not going to be really talking about the plans of the enemies, are they? They're going to be talking about how there's no light and they're hungry and they can't sleep anywhere, and they're going to be delirious because they can't sleep. But if we give them actual beds and some sunlight and some food, then they won't have those things to talk about. So they'll be more likely to talk about other things.
I mean,
like...
they will then have more things to talk about. Actually, they'll be like, "Oh, look at the sun. Oh, it's real nice. Oh, look at
No,
the
they're
ocean.
not-
It's
no
real
one's
nice.
gonna
Oh,
talk
these
about that.
beds are pretty comfy. How's yours? Oh, mine's a bit shit actually. Oh,
No, because they're sailors who were already on this ship, so they already know what the beds are like.
oh, it's true.
And also, if they are not sleeping or eating or getting sunlight, they're not going to be thinking straight, so they might not give us the correct information.
Or they'll be more likely to have the tongue loosened.
Move them to somewhere nice. They're just going to know immediately why you did it, and they're going to know they can keep on pushing and pushing.
Okay, well, we can move them somewhere nice, and if they don't tell us anything, we just move them back.
No?
I
I mean,
am
they can
inclined-
go in your room. Not in
Okay.
mine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. We'll put them and lock them in my room.
But they're prisoners. They're where they're meant to be.
Whoa!
Okay. We have...
Yeah, okay, but they're prisoners they're more like political prisoners, right? Because they have information that we need.
They're not political prisoners, they're prisoners of war. Very
Thank-
vast difference.
Okay, I don't know the difference, but okay, that's fine.
Also, another point, we
You're-
have a crew who have much worse quarters than you do. If we're putting the prisoners in those quarters and not the crew, the
Yeah,
crew
that's
aren't
true.
going to be very happy.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
and-
point. Why
and
don't we
just-
just put them in the room with the
Also-
regular room with the beds and lock them in?
Also,
Oh,
to be
'cause
clear,
they're
not there.
also to be clear, Hinera, your sister, political prisoner, them, prisoners of war. That make it
Okay,
clear?
thank you. Yep, that makes it more clear, thank you.
Yeah. So I don't get why we're making this so complicated. Honestly, why don't we just listen in on what they're saying?
Yeah,
Like
let's
we
try
can
that.
just do that, right? I mean,
Try it first, and then if they don't say anything interesting, we can try my idea, right?
No. Do it. Go spy on them.
Look, okay. How about this? Yeah, if Cyan goes down and spies on them, and for the next 8 hours, all they talk about is, oh, my back. Oh yeah, this bed's not very comfy. Oh, these bars are a bit cold. Then yeah, maybe we move them somewhere with a bit less stimulus. But
Oh,
for now,
sorry.
we just do the spying and keep it simple.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to, with his permission, I would like to cast Fly on Cyan, so he doesn't creak when he goes down to the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna glide.
I'm also going to go invisible with my cloak.
Okay.
Have we had? We've
Good
had
ghost.
days. We've had a long rest since the fight, haven't we?
It's been a
Yeah.
few days, right?
Yeah. That's cool.
All right, Cyan. In that case, Henera begins to focus, and you lift off the floorboards just a few inches, and can slowly start floating towards the trapdoor. Going down to the hull, you manage to make a stealth check for me.
Okay, do I get any bonuses from being invisible and all that? Or
I'll give you a +4 circumstance bonus because you're flying as well.
okay, public roll or private?
I get private. Blind gem.
Blind GM roll. Okay.
All right, so you begin to float down. How long are you staking out there for?
About as long as I can before it's time for bed, I guess. I got nothing really else to do on the ship. I'm not a sailor. So I'm just gonna stick around until
The fly
bedtime.
Sorry, the fly is just to sort of get you there, but you have to actually
Yeah.
put your feet down because it only lasts for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you're not just floating in the
Oh.
corner of the room.
Or a sheet over 'em.
Okay, make a perception check for me then.
Perception.
Just
Hang on.
throw a sheet over side and make him go,
Just
"Ooh."
a regular roll, or public, or
Uh,
blind, or
Just a regular.
25.
All right. So you begin listening in on them. They don't seem very happy. One of them, the guy who has been very anti any of this, is saying, at least Farankosh, you'll have our heads for this. If the, I don't know, merchant company aren't going to hang us first. Renee says, now, Roderick. We'll get out of here. It'll be all right. We can atone to whoever we need to. The other one says, "You don't understand. We signed our souls away on this voyage. They belong. We belong to them, even in death. We can't let ourselves get killed here." And the other one says, "That's why I'm trying to get us out of here." But that's all you managed to pick up. In terms and then they sort of just have a bit of a tiff and then go silent again.
I'm gonna go back to the others. Hello?
All right. Yeah, you go back to the others.
Hi there.
What'd you get?
Hi.
So I have news. They kinda sold their souls.
Why?
Oh.
Yeah. They claim that even in death, they are owned by quote unquote them. I don't know if they meant specifically Elise Fahrenkar and the Banking Guild, or you know. Either way, they said that they can't die here.
Oh,
They
should we
might
just
be turned.
kill one then?
That would be a. We don't know why they can't die here. They might, I don't know, explode or something.
I think.
Okay.
Do you not just
Why don't we go down there
mean that
and say, sorry,
it's not just that they can't, they don't want to die because they'll like go to, well, somewhere bad most likely.
Or they turn into like skeletons or zombies or something.
we could always just go down there and say, there's 4 of them, right?
There's
The three of them.
Oh, okay, sorry. There's 3 of you. Decide amongst yourself which one you want to die, and we'll come back in 5 minutes once you've decided.
Nyx appears.
And
Seems
that,
pretty.
and that way,
What purpose would that serve?
well, because then they would just decide amongst themselves. I think it's kinda right, because, and then we can find out what they are.
There's nothing kind about any of this.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty fucked up. Not gonna lie.
Oh, I thought it was nicer.
Nyx says, they say that great people are. Great societies are judged by how they treat their prisoners, not how they treat each other. If you can't treat them with respect, then I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah, well, that's why I said we should get them up in a slightly nicer room. But nobody listened to me.
Room-wise, what do we actually have, like that's not currently in use?
You've got quite a lot of spare rooms, especially like like quite a few of the rooms are taken by the sort of more expensive officer type people that you've thinking, but there are a couple of spare rooms still. Like you've got space to put them up in a nice room if you want to. Obviously, there's a
including,
chance.
like,
There's
sailors
more of
and
a
stuff.
chance that they might escape as well.
We're less secure.
I don't think it matters too much if they escape anyway, right? Because they'll just go into the water.
I mean, they'll just die, and it doesn't really do us any good, right?
Yeah, but if they don't tell us anything, because they're too upset, that achieves the same thing. So we might as well try. We could always put a guard in there.
as you've been traveling a bit, one of the crew on the topsail, on the mast, on the what's it called? Crow's nest. That's it. You hear shouting, saying, "Ship spotted, port side." One of the elf crew comes down and says to you, Henning, "Your orders, Captain."
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, move them.
Move them.
What?
Sorry.
What kind of ship is it? Who does it look like?
We don't have any telescopes, Captain.
What? We don't have any
What kind
of ship
telescopes. What
doesn't
kind of
have
ship
a
doesn't have? Oh,
telescope?
for God's sake!
Well, the captain usually has it.
Oh, no, we'd forgotten something.
Oh,
I've got a telescope.
I
Don't
think
worry.
I've got a
I've got
spy
my
glass
bag of
around it.
place.
There are spyglasses in the ship, but
I think
They-
Cassius
they've
was doing
just
the
been-
navigating, so like I imagine he would have used one.
yeah, you have spyglasses, but they just don't.
All right, let's go have a look.
They got elf vision. They can see a distance, but they like.
Mm.
What's your elf IC?
Who's taking a look through the spyglass?
There was survival
Oh.
check on it.
I can do that. Or
It's
navigate-
not-
the navigator maybe.
Well, you're not navigating. You're going to be what you.
You get an elf to look through them. Get through get
Yeah, it would
science.
just be a perception check.
I'll do it. Hang on. Let me just hang on. Perception. 28.
Okay, taking a look through your telescope. So just off the port side, kind of on the horizon, you see 3 galleons, kind of medium-sized cannon ships, traveling in a line. In the time that you've started watching them, it's become clear that they're starting to turn. They're heading towards you, and they are starting to catch wind, and they're starting to catch up with you. By your estimations, they'll close in on about an hour, maybe. They don't seem to be flying any flags of allegiance, and neither are you. Obviously, like you took down. I assume you took down the Banking Guild flag.
Yeah.
Yes, we specifically said that we were doing that.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't have. So you're currently also not flying any flags of allegiance either.
Are
do we
there
have
any
any-
like?
No, well
Are there-
no, you don't have any on the ship. They don't carry merchant guild flags with them.
Do we like have like signals or something we could use? Something like, like I imagine ships have signals to each other, like,
Sure.
"Hey, we're not here to kill you if you're not here to kill us," type things.
Sure. How many of you know ship signals? Who has a background in ships?
The officers might.
They
Yeah.
will in elven signaling, not in merchant signaling for humans.
I see.
I didn't know there was much of a difference.
Put up a white flag.
They're a completely different culture. They have completely different seafaring traditions and everything.
Can we just
Well,
put
like-
a white flag up the top?
You could put a white
So
flag.
I
if
think
you're
if
not
you put-
surrendering,
I think
No,
if you put a skull and crossbones up, it means we're dead sure that we're not
We're pirates.
dangerous.
Instead of white one, it's peace. We come in peace.
That's
I
not
think that
peace,
means surrender.
We're not going to surrender.
One of the elf officers. Your orders, Captain. They're catching up on us.
Prepare for a fight.
A fight,
Yeah.
Captain.
Potentially a fight.
Aye, aye. He starts barking orders for the elves to start arming themselves and rush down into the armory.
Would we have any idea? Well, actually, I'll probably approach one of the more well sea versed of the crew that we hired. 3 galleons versus one of these. What do you reckon our odds are if it came to it?
Well, we're not particularly well crewed. We're not able to man all the cannons at once. It depends on a number of factors. We should be able to withstand a lot of their attacks. I hope.
why would they be attacking? Why didn't we just leave?
I
They
don't know.
are.
Well, they're faster than us, right?
Fast. They're going to be.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I missed that.
They're gonna
they are,
catch
they
us
are
eventually.
slowly catching up with you. You could try and really put the pedal to the metal, but like y'all don't have the crew to go like
What about-
full speed on, you know.
I've got an idea. If they are hostile, perhaps we try to make a little bit of an escape. We throw the explosive barrel from the hold behind us. Oh, no, it get wet then. And then myself or Nero throw out fire things at it. Covering our escape, perhaps. I do not know if the
Done pirating
and,
before.
will work in it, but it is an option. And it will also make us lighter.
That could work. That is not a bad idea, actually.
One of the elves who's currently manning the wheel says points over to like a kind of an island outcropping, like just about a small little group of islands. Says we could try and lose them through there.
No,
But
I
they'd be
think
more
we should just...
maneuverable than us.
Yeah, they're smaller, right? Seems like seems like a bad idea.
We could risk running aground.
Very well. We'll continue on the main heading then. All right. So as they get a bit closer, you're still using the spyglass sign.
Yeah.
What was your perception check? 28. All right. So you can see crew on the decks of the galleons kind of moving around. It's unclear whether they're merchant company or banking guild sailors. But the head ship seems to be called Mastiff as it approaches.
Does anyone know a ship called Mastiff?
I look at Hank.
Hank, is that your ship?
The ships that are trailing you begin to split on their heading, and two ships start to come alongside the port side of the ship. Two of them. They are called Mastiff and Adana Blue. And one is on the starboard side of the ship, and that ship is called Bull Roarer. And they begin to close in. They're still not flying any flags of allegiance. They seem very interested in the ship, and you can see them like looking through their spyglasses at you.
I'm gonna point at one and say hello. Like I'm gonna wave at them as they're looking at me through the spyglass. I'm like, hey, and then I point to the spyglass like, hey.
Are they in earshot now?
They're not within earshot now.
We're deep into like our own allied territory at this point, right?
Allied.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I mean,
guess aside from
the open
Montreal,
water. The open water is the open water. It's sort of random who you come across. It entirely depends.
Okay, so the sea is not really very controlled, even around.
No, the merchant guild won't have enough ships to like, fully operate all the shipping lanes and like do everything. But it could be either. They start to close in. As you're looking through them in the spyglass, you see a few of them shouting at you and sort of like trying to get you to drop anchor. And when the Mastiff gets close enough, you hear someone shouting, "Drop anchor and prepare for boarding."
Okay, well, we'll shout back. Who's your allegiance?
Who's your allegiance?
No, I asked you first.
It's like a Monty Python sketch.
Someone like says, "Drop anchor or be fired upon."
I don't think we should drop anchor.
I think we should drop anchor.
I'm not sure being fired upon is any
I
better.
don't think we have a choice. I think we should.
If we drop anchor, then we won't be able to get it back up.
If a fight breaks out, I think we're better boarded than we are not.
Fine, drop the anchor.
Us lot don't do a whole lot of good from like 1,000 feet away.
Yeah, drop the anchor.
All right, so you order the elf crew to drop the anchor, and the large block of stone wrapped in iron is thrown off the edge of the ship and eventually drags itself across the seafloor. The ship grinds to a halt after a moment, and the ships either side begin to throw ropes over just to sort of tie themselves to your ship. A number of tough-looking sailors begin to climb onto the ship, alongside a rather well-dressed merchant wearing a fox fur jacket and a wide-brimmed cap. On his hip are multiple loaded flintlock pistols, as well as a thin-steeled rapier. He pulls out one of the pistols and aims it in your general area, but he's not aiming at anyone particularly. Easy now, no quick movements.
You know, mate, you might not want to wear as many pistols. If you go overboard, those are going to weigh you down quite significantly.
Who are you?
My name is Don Eventius. I am the person in charge around here, and until I discover your intentions, I would suggest not making a fuss.
Do we know who Don Eventius is?
It's not a name you've heard of. State your loyalty and how you acquired this vessel.
You are Avenger Guild Queen.
Tell him the truth. This is the life.
I think we should.
Merchant company. Yourself?
Don Eventius narrows his eyes, and the rest of the sailors look around, kind of unsure what to do. After a moment, he smiles and lowers his gun. Right answer.
Ah, a friend.
It's a relief.
The sailors drop their arms, and he sort of just puts them at ease. How on earth did you bag yourself the despair? Don Eventius says.
We
That's the
boarded
pri-
it we boarded it in Lenora. Stole it.
In Lenora. It's the pride of
Yes.
the Banking Guild fleet.
And
Take it,
we're
Aaron.
bringing it back for the Merchant Guild to have.
I take it you haven't heard what's gone down there then.
No. Where's your heading? Port Edron?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, just to let you know, these are dangerous waters these days. Banking Guild sank a civilian transport sloop just 2 days ago. 13 merchants died on their way to Kelriest. We're searching for the ship that did it.
Perhaps you could help escort us back to Port Edron then.
Unfortunately, we're on our own mission. If you came with us, you could help.
No. Give us some
Right.
details.
We're tracking the ship that sunk the merchant vessel.
Where do you think it's gone? Where have you tracked it to?
Well, we're just trying to find it at the moment. We had it on our tail last night, and we've lost it now.
But do you know any markings, like names or anything?
We're not sure of the ship's name. We know it's a galley of some sort. Just a small ship.
We haven't seen anything, have we?
No, you haven't seen it.
Evasive little bugger by the sounds of it.
Well, he looks at the rest of the sailors and says, I suppose it's not much chance that they've come out this far. We can escort you back half the way, and we're heading back to Kelris.
That would be most appreciated.
Very well. He starts barking orders to the sailors to get back on their ships.
Best of luck on your hunt as well.
Your names are?
Henning Dyer, Captain.
Very well. And the rest of you?
Gausifer.
An arrow.
Fanael.
And Keskis.
I recognize you. You're that lot that stopped the Banking Guild from taking over Port Edron.
Ah, that is us.
Oh, well, a lot's changed since you've gone.
Oh god, what's happened now?
Anything we should be wary of?
Just, we've been put on a bit of a war heading. It's, yes, dangerous times these days.
I think, considering the volatility of literally everywhere on the planet, it's always dangerous times.
It's particularly dangerous at the moment.
Right.
Well, I guess I'll get back to it then. Sorry for bothering you. We just had to do our duty, as you could tell.
Oh no, it's fine. You just gave us a mini
Yeah.
heart attack.
We're quite relieved, actually.
Do you have
A
any-
fight would have been difficult.
Sorry.
Yeah, it could have damaged our ship.
What do you say, Cassius?
Do you have any flags for the Adana Merchant Company? We are flying a little blind.
We can spare you one. He sort of nods to one of the sailors who rushes onto the ship and after a while produces a selection of Adana Merchant Company flags that you can fly. Take these. These are spare.
Thank you. Crew, get these hung up straight away.
Aye, Captain. A couple of the crew go off. Well, yes, we'll escort you for the next day or so, and then we'll split off.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you.
Very well.
Most appreciated.
He goes back on his ship and starts barking orders. They unhook the ropes, and let you continue on.
Pull up the anchor.
Cool. So I'll do another day's travel. Do you want to navigate me, Matt?
Go on.
Would we get any bonuses from the help of the other ship? Or...
Yeah, it's pretty
22.
pretty easy. All right, so another day's travel ends up. They end up splitting off, and then you've got probably half a day's worth of. So overnight, you'll get there by the morning in Port Edrin now, if you desire. What did you want to do with those sailors in the end? Did you want to put them in a room or leave them there?
I know I would like to put them in the room, but I'm not gonna do it without everyone, like, people agreeing.
Cassius won't get involved. He's bored.
Considering where we are at this point, we might as well.
Yeah, honestly, Calcer was fine with doing that and maybe just releasing them when we get near. He doesn't really want to just kill them.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, well,
Right.
you...
Can I just also mention that if we have them kept as prisoners, if other people, Don Aventius, come on board again and go down there, they'll be like, who are these prisoners? And then they will probably kill them, take them from us. Whereas if we have them in an actual room, they might not just do that straight away.
I mean, there are prisoners, right? Be pretty uncouth
no
for them
secrets.
to do that.
Also, wanted to talk as a team whether we need to tell Don Aventius about the whole incoming attack of Kelrius. That may or may not be happening.
Donovan, do you mean speak to Don back in...
Well, Don Aventius is already here, right? And he might be a bit annoyed if we don't tell him this information we have. But I suppose... no, that's fine.
To be fair, he has his own mission. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna go back to Port Edrin and report all this stuff anyway. So.
Okay.
It's like not everyone who works for the merchant company has the power to get pissed off at you for not telling them stuff. You know. All right. So, just for the sake of expediency, we'll just continue on then. So after the next day's travel, eventually Don Aventius and the rest of the sailors head off, waving you goodbye as they break off from the convoy. And now you can start to see Port Edrin in the distance. All right, so it'll be the 7th day of summer. It'll be the morning. You arrive. Okay. Is there any last bits you wanted to do on the ship before you arrive in Port Edrin?
Yeah, I want to see if I can get any more information, but in a nice way.
All right, I'll just say these sailors don't. They're just normal sailors. They've given you all the information that they have.
Yep.
Any more hope for information, they might lie to you. I guess.
Maybe I
Cassius
just want to chat with them, make friends.
Oh, fair enough. Well, yeah, fair enough. You do that.
Maybe I might try and persuade them not to just go back to the banking guild.
Yeah,
but,
I
mean,
think maybe I'll do
souls
that.
are sold to them, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that.
Not just start sailing off in this direction.
Cascus is gonna throw some coins at Cookie, just for inevitably when he gets annoyed that the sailors have left.
Throw some what?
Coin at Cookie.
Oh yeah, Cookie's like, oh, can't wait to spend this on stuff.
What are you going to? Oh wait, I'm not there. Sorry.
Actually, might have something I would like to do. I just would like to have a quick reread of a spell, if that's okay. I'll be try to be quick.
Okay.
Oh.
What spell is it?
I was looking at locate, but I couldn't remember if I just needed someone to describe it or if I needed to actually know it. And it just depends, but yeah, I can't do it, so that's fine.
All right. So after a bit of travel and a good restful sleep towards the rest, eventually you hear "Land ho!" shouted from the top rafters.
What'd you call me?
See ho!
Hey.
You see in the distance the familiar sight of Port Edron, long time away from home. The ramshackle ship, driftwood constructed homes, the red fort looming over the bay. You arrive back in Port Edron. A number of ships. You are flying the Adana Merchant Company flag, but as you do approach, a couple of ships that are just patrolling the bay escort you into the docks. And then, as you moor up in the docks, quite a large number of soldiers arrive, just to sort of make sure nothing fishy's going on. You see, on arrival, a number of merchants are just watching the ship in the docks, as well as Don Iden, who, as you look over the edge of the ship, you sort of catch his eye, and he sort
Give
of
him a
waves.
wave. Look what we got!
He does look quite impressed, actually.
It's like, oh fuck, didn't expect that.
I sent them on a
Kind of
diplomatic
expected
mission and
them
they
to
come
just-
back with a fucking man of war.
So yeah, eventually, all moored up early in the morning, probably 7 or 8 in the morning. Don Iden arrives on the ship. Well, well, well. How about this? What a catch you've gotten. We assumed you were dead.
Ye
They're
a
very
little
much
fae.
alive.
Yeah, if you gave it a good go, but no such luck.
Well, welcome back. We've got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, well, for now, welcome to our office. I suspect that might change in the next few days, but yeah, let's go catch up.
Very well. He leads you into his office on the glass fair, as you remember, by the large square. He after you sit down, he sort of offers you drinks. Says, you know, there's not very many people who go on big missions like this and arrive back in one piece. I'm very impressed.
Well, we're not like everyone else.
I can see that. So, how did the mission go?
We did lose things on the way. Bits of ourselves.
Well,
What,
aren't you
real-
cheery?
We all do that. We do a bit of that every now and again. So, fill me in. What's happened?
No such thing.
How did you get here?
I mean, you just saw, right? We
In the
we
boat.
sailed.
No.
We are being particularly dense, I think, right?
I assume you travelled to Lenora then.
Yeah.
Yep, so made our way to Anora. Saw that there was a bit of a coup. Tried to
Peasants
stop
were
it, but
taken.
they escaped.
Maybe
yeah,
we should.
Patron's been nicked, and he's well, maybe halfway across Adna by now.
Perhaps we should start a little bit earlier. No, we probably just said a lot of words that did not mean much in the context.
Yeah, I'm not really great with the detail part.
Effectively, our task is not going very well, if I am to be frank. We have not managed to quell dissent and get the houses on board against the banking guild, and it seems the banking guild are a few steps ahead of us. They seem to have orchestrated a rather large coup and managed to mobilize a number of the major houses in Adenar against the merchant company. Ignis, and the seat of the Ocalrius as well, I think that's right. No,
Kaidos.
House Kaidos, sorry, one House Kaidos, and much of the nobility of the patron. What's the family called there?
House Valor.
That's the one, House Veloren. And they have taken them off. At least Farenkar herself made the trip to. Wait, is that right? I think she didn't. She was in Honor.
No, she wasn't.
Oh, she wasn't. Who was the person that we read?
That was Don Marine.
Don Marine. Yes, Don Marine. That was it. We know this because Don Marine himself showed face on the final days before the coup was attempted in Donora. Mercifully, we managed, with the assistance of a great many allies, to wrest control of the city. There was a few other minor details we can save for later. But the long and short of it is that there is a long protracted conflict beginning on the continent of Adana, and it is not going well.
He looks concerned. Well, since you've been away, I suppose I should let you know what's happened here as well. Axos Kutaban has gone on a war footing, hiring as many hands as possible to help in the war effort. This means a lot of the consumer industries in Port Edrin are struggling. We've started a large shipbuilding effort, but the ships won't be finished until at least autumn. We're stretched thin trying to protect the waters for the Banking Guild. As of yet, the Banking Guild has not made any large plays. But we assume she is biding her time for something, perhaps an invasion. We know that they're gathering a fleet on Imyana, but I'm not sure where they're headed.
We actually heard something about that too.
You did?
Yeah, from some of the ex-occupants of this ship. Said that they were going to go to Imyana after that. Said they were going to be setting out on the 27th. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 27th of summer. That was when the invasion was set to start. Now these were just some grunts, but sounds like it corroborates with what you're saying.
It is also worth mentioning they said something about signing their souls over and them serving the Banking Guild even in death.
Yeah, Banking Guild seems to be dealing in some dark shit.
We assumed as much when Elise showed off her dark magic here. Well, the assault on Imyana has to be delayed. We are not ready to assault it yet. We don't have the ships or the men. The bank was specifically crafted to be impregnable, and now it's been taken from us, as well as a large proportion of our gold reserves. Axos Kutaban, unable to go anywhere else, has asked the Tempest Brand for assistance, who have agreed and are sending a fleet and forces after announcing a crusade. And a large number of merchants aren't so happy with this, as you can assume, because they came to Aduna to get away from the Tempest Brand's grip. So we're currently in the middle of a bit of a political crisis.
You say a crusade. This Tempest brand, they a group of religious nut jobs, or
They are they are the enforcers of the ecclesiarchy of Levar. Unfortunately, they're the only people willing to assist us in this trying time.
why?
Is it worth asking too many questions? They've got the gold and the men. It means giving up a bit of our freedom for that. It might be
You
worth it.
literally told us when we first started working for you that we are more of an intelligence guild than an adventuring guild. I would have imagined this would have been one of your first suspicions.
What would have been?
What they seek out of this.
Well, they seek influence and power, which is what they've always seeked. But we don't have the ability to stop the banking guild without them. But then again, you arriving on that ship today has changed my mind a little bit.
How so?
Well, you said that the banking guild are anticipating that ship to arrive. What if we could have people infiltrate into the keep of the Great Keep?
You've got to be on some pretty mad, harebrained suicide mission to agree to do that. I feel sorry for the chumps who have to do that.
That's probably us, mate.
Huh?
Oh.
I did not sign up for this.
You don't have to sign up for anything. You've done your duty. And as far as your mission, our contract is done.
Oh, really?
Wonderful. Do you want your coin back now or later?
But just think about... Well, you are obviously capable. We could have 200 good men on that ship. We could do untold damage if we were to be allowed in. And they aren't yet aware of their loss.
Does sound like fun.
It does sound like fun.
However,
There is-
once you're into this Duimiana, do you have any idea what it's like on the inside? How heavily manned, how fortified?
It is the most fortified and most impregnable bank ever created. It has layers and layers of security. It has a vault deep within the granite rock underneath it.
See, I just worry. You send that ship over there with 200 good men, and all you get is you lose 200 good men, and then the ship's back in their possession.
The alternative is that we wait for the banking guild to make their first move, which they have the the gold and the manpower and the resources to do untold damage. I don't know if you can tell this, but by the sounds of it, we're not winning this war.
I'm just concerned about what you could do.
We have people on the inside. I get information. It could be something. It's not necessarily a full-scale assault, but we could dress up a number of crew as banking guild sailors, and you could disguise yourselves as important figures on the ship. Perhaps Don Marine or whoever else. I'm sure you have the abilities to do that.
I'm very good at disguises.
It's a suggestion. We will gladly take the ship off your hands if you are not willing to use it. But understand that the gold bank of Imiana has the highest gold reserves of any bank anywhere in the world. It's the largest.
Do
does
you perk up
sound-
slightly more to that?
That sounds
I-
incredibly tempting.
I would also like to note to you, Don Iden, there are other important things that is going on that we will need to pay attention to. For instance, it appears that the Sidon in Lenora, was it Lenora?
Yeah.
Is that the name? Yeah, in Lenora, are planning to open discussion with the Rodrans.
Interesting.
Have potential allies against the banking guild.
Well,
You talk about you talk about resources. I'm sure there's all kinds of shit on their side, right?
assuming the banking guild are going for Kelrius, we will be practically cut off from any assistance if the banking guild manages to take Kelrius. They might not be able to invade us here on Rodrana, but we will not be able to help in Adana either. The banking guild must be dealt with first. Their navy must be destroyed in any way it can be. And at least Farankar needs to be held accountable.
Sorry, just to clarify, if we do this, we potentially stop Kellius being destroyed. Taken over.
Well, as much damage as you could do will be helpful. If you could
Ooh.
manage to do a number of things at once, destroy the fleet whilst they're in the docks, in the bay,
I tell you what
and go on.
I tell you what we do have. A hole full of gunpowder.
Cyan's ears just prick up, just like, are you suggesting
Big boom.
we ram it with an exploding ship?
I mean,
That
that's one option.
That would
Depends
be
on the
spectacular.
geography, you know. But, you know, we do have one big bomb and one supposedly impregnable vault. Seems like a match made in heaven.
We have the Merchant Guild has a number of items and artifacts which we would be willing to donate to such a cause. Might help with your goal.
What kind of artifacts?
Well, when it comes to the vault, gold is heavy. We have a number of items which can make it more transportable, let's say.
Oh, like one of
And-
these, and he pulls out the bag of holding.
Yes, but imagine an item that could shrink the contents of the vault so that an entire vault's worth of gold could fit into a single bag of holding.
That'd be pretty useful.
Could that be used on a person? Hypothetically.
We haven't tried it.
Do you want to be the volunteer?
Way in. I just think, shrinking someone would be excellent for infiltration.
Fit through a keyhole.
Or a mouse hole or anything of the sorts. This is why, right? I always used to say, druids and those who can shapeshift into animals and the like, they're the better thieves because they could go wherever the hell they want.
We-
Shapeshift into an animal?
Luckily, we do have the original designs of the Gold Bank of Imiana from when it was built. You would be able to come up with any plan of your own. Whatever which way you decided to do it. Anything that could save us a ground invasion or some sort of naval battle would be, well, would turn the tide in our favor. Currently, even if we were to try and fight the Banking Guild, which we might be able to do, we would have almost no ships left to be of any other use afterwards.
Then the Ignis fleet comes down and you're fucked.
So anything you could do to help would be appreciated.
So, you want us to go on an espionage mission?
Call it what you like. But I assume you're aware by now that the people that work under my wing, I tend to give a lot of freedom in how they do things.
One concern. I'm not sure about you lot, but I can't act for shit.
Me neither.
I can act for you.
Well, that's great until they start trying to talk to us.
Also, what have they heard of us? I mean, that captain we ran into on the way here apparently had.
Well, you see, I'm very good at acting. And I'm very good at disguises for myself.
There are also potions which can be crafted. We have, from Don Marine and Elise Farrancar's assault on the keep, we have a lock of their hair each. There is a elixir which can be crafted, which can disguise one as either. The rest of you could disguise yourselves as guards or sailors.
Or prisoners.
Or prisoners.
Not too keen on the prisoner angle. Don't really do well without my, he just kind of shrugs all his gear.
Maybe think about this.
You may think about it. Of course.
There's a lot of thoughts going through my head for one. I imagine everyone else's too.
How about you get yourself some rest? Let's have a meeting maybe in the morning about this. Find yourself an inn to stay at.
Alright, sounds good.
Take it easy. You've been on a long adventure. Time to enjoy the comforts of home for a while before you head out again.
Some of our home.
This is your home whether you like it or not. You signed a contract.
It
God
sounds
damn
like we have been released from that contract, though, you said.
It has, technically. Which reminds me of payment. Now, I never expected you to actually survive.
That's fine.
But because you have, I like to reward those who do well. He puts a bag on the counter. This is your payment plus a little extra from me. And he sort of pushes over.
How much is in the bag?
It seems to be about 2,000 gold in there.
Awesome.
Money, money, money.
Aren't we supposed to be selling this boat?
Well, it sounds like it might have a better use. For them, I mean, I might still ask to be somewhat compensated for the ship. It is a big ship.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be 75,000 gold.
Oh yeah, there was a reward for turning in ships. Do you know who we'd see about that?
That would be worth speaking to the merchant prince.
All right.
I imagine he's quite busy at the moment.
It's probably best to see him at another time, yes. But the bounty is there. You obviously think about it. It may be. This is the theory about you going to Imiano and doing this. This is my theory. It's not officially sanctioned by the merchant company in the slightest. The chances are, if you were to sell it, they would just give it to a don, who would use it in an upcoming battle and probably lose it. So you might be able to make yourself a bit of coin if you were to.
Potentially more coin than if we were to sell it.
Well, you could always sell it afterwards as well.
That is a
If we don't blow it up.
It's your
I
choice.
really want to blow it up, though. You
Oh,
put
but
that idea in my head, and
but
now
seven-
I want to blow it up too.
I mean, I was
I
thinking
think-
of maybe. Oh.
God.
I've
Maybe we should go to an inn first. And then
hang on.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Don't worry. We're gonna come up with something. I've got ideas.
Why don't we just stay on the boat?
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I don't need to pay for it.
Yeah, you don't need to pay
We
for
could-
it. You
You're
can
right.
just
We
say
could,
it.
that's right. That's fair.
Yeah, as once we.
Are you going to return back to the boat then?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. The as you arrive back on the boat, the crew say one of the representatives of the crew says, "What is your goals? Are we to leave now, or we do still? There is still the issue of payment for our services."
How much did we say we could?
40 silver for the crew, I think, a day.
No. Do that again.
Yeah, 40 silver.
40 silver a day, so it's been 3.5 days. So 340. Sorry, 140 silver.
Okay, so
How much is
14.
that divided by?
So
each?
14 gold.
5 by 5, 2, 4, 6. So it's like 3 gold each, basically. 2, 3.
Yeah, can give the rest as a tip for
Yeah.
doing such a
I was
good
gonna
job.
get 3 gold from my sheet.
If you don't mind, one of them says, we've been working quite hard for the last few days. We wouldn't mind a bit of respite.
That's
Oh, yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be setting off immediately if if we are setting off. So yeah, take it easy for a bit, lads.
They nod. Thank you very much. They sort of file off. They'll still obviously have their spots on the ship. They can still stay there if they want. That's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
No, they're not allowed.
so
Oh, that's 1 silver a night.
as for mooring, there's going to be some mooring costs. But it just depends how long you're here for.
Even
That's
with how important we are?
Even the most
Do they-
important people have to pay mooring costs, unfortunately.
Do they
It is-
know who we are?
It's their
Our-
tax. It's like the only way they get taxes, really. Like they don't have many other kinds of taxes.
Oh my god, are we in what do we call it? A libertarian society?
It's pretty much what this is, yeah.
No. Maybe the banking guild isn't that bad, guys.
Just before you went, from Don Iden, he just casually mentioned that the banking guild vault is estimated to have 10 million gold pieces in it.
Ooh. Hey.
Oh,
Um.
that's a lot of striking runes, guys.
I imagine I imagine the Merchant Guild would want some of that to fund the
Oh,
war effort.
give him a little bit, but we did the hard bit.
But anyway, so you're back on the ship, in the privacy of your companionship. The rest of the sailors have gone off to the inns just to get a bit pissed and just sort of do a bit of sightseeing. They've never seen a human city before.
No, Hank, shut up. Right, so I've got an idea.
Okay.
We take the gunpowder
Yeah.
and we use this root, this artifact that shrinks stuff down.
Yeah.
Shrink down the gunpowder, get it inside the bank, enlarge it, set it off.
Cascus, I've never told you this before, but I fucking
Calcifer.
love you. Calcifer, but I
Yeah, why are you
fucking
talking?
love
Why are you talking to Cascus? It's a weird time to.
Yeah, that is spectacular, and
I mean, if
yeah.
it could, or if it can, depending on how many times we can use this thing, might be an easy way to, get that gunpowder onto other ships, sink the fleet.
That's a good idea. Also, I was thinking of maybe using my special talent to come off as Don Marine.
Uh,
Oh, I think this is dangerous.
I think that might be a little beyond your talents.
No, I can turn into anyone.
Yeah, but you can turn into them, but can you pretend to be them that well?
I've seen him before.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of shit that he knows that you don't. Maybe for someone that don't know him that well, could probably get by. But it's going to be a lot tougher if we run into, someone that actually knows him, starts, chatting inside information, and you suddenly don't know what they're on about. Not saying we can't do it. I'm just saying, it ain't going to be easy.
I just figured, I don't get to use it often. It would be good to find a way to get in. And besides, he's the barky ordery type. And he seems to be in charge when Baron Carr's not around. I could just bark around. I'm not in the mood for this. I need to oversee the vault.
Oh,
Nick's-
I don't think that's a good idea.
Nick says people would be a lot more likely to allow you into hard to reach places if you were someone of interest.
Exactly.
Or a guard
think
who's
it's-
guarding it.
Well, why would he be on a ship?
True.
The-
Okay,
the- Last we know, this is the pride of the banking guild, so it's going to have very important people on it.
And there's no guarantee that Don Marine has any ability to even contact Imyana. They have no idea right now. We have the element of surprise on our hands. It seems like an opportunity that we shouldn't waste. It is risky though.
And it
Of
does mean
course.
potentially risking 75,000 gold. Whew.
Okay, but 75,000, 10 million.
Well, 75,000 birds in the hand versus 10 million birds in the bush.
I've never heard of that saying in my life.
It's usually
on
lower
earth are
scale,
you
but
talking
you
about?
know, same principle.
What time of
75k
day?
is more than we could ever need.
What time of day is it?
It's still the morning.
Would I be able to go into the city and buy some spell scrolls?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can just do that. So Port
What?
Edrin
Sorry,
is
what? What
Port
level?
Edrin's level. Yeah, Port Edrin's level 5. So
Okay. Level 5 spells. No,
Yeah.
not level 5 spells.
Level 3 spells.
level 3 spell.
I was going to get Shrink, which I feel like Calcifer wants me to get, listening to all his plans.
Oh, this was
Yeah.
using the artifacts.
Well, but then wait, are they consumable?
Well,
we
you don't know what the
yet.
artifacts. Well, you don't know what they are yet. But Don Iden did say that he was able to donate some quite powerful artifacts to the cause.
And presumably it
Okay.
was something that would last a while if the idea was putting the gold in a bag and
Yeah.
getting it back to Port Edrin.
Right. Wasn't your first plan to shrink somebody to get through a keyhole, go in? No. Was that...
Well, I was saying we don't know about the limits of these items, right?
Yeah, I just thought it's not very expensive, so I'm just gonna.
It would be
buy it.
definitely, and it'd be, not gonna lie, as many things as you could possibly bring is
Yeah.
as good as possible. You know,
Yeah,
whatever
and
you're
then-
willing to bring to the
Okay,
cause.
I am gonna do some buying.
Oh,
Buying then.
while we're here, let's split this this 2k gold out. Are we still
Yes,
doing
please.
the sixth thing with the Great Bank of Hank, or we just want to split it 5 ways?
Well, does he need any armor?
Oh, I mean, I can buy that. That's fine. It's just the group cost type thing. No, we did it
No.
with the stuff from the gauntlet. I wondered if we wanted to keep doing that or just.
No.
I figure
Well,
there's
it's
enough in the group at the moment.
Okay, yeah, he's got 1,200 gold at the moment.
Thanks,
Right.
fucking minted.
I don't think I
Yeah.
added the gold from that. Anyway, I'll sort it out in the life. So 2,000 divided by 5.
Yeah, so it'll be 400 each. That is easier maths than by 6.
Cool.
Okay. And then I'm gonna come back to the ship and learn the spells if I can.
I'm going to have a think as well. This would be after the session. I'll have a
Yeah.
look, and I can let you know, of maybe getting some gadgets, some other ones that he might not have thought of.
Askus is
Rope
kind of,
arrows and the like.
this whole time he's kind of not been engaged in the conversation. He's kind of like leaning over the balcony, just like flicking his adventurer coin kind of up and down in the air every so often, just kind of looking off, like really distantly, not really involved.
Henning will go up to him and slap him on the back.
Ow.
You okay there, buddy?
I don't know. We've done it, right? We've done what we said. We've done our part. We could walk away right now.
I agree.
Why? Yeah, we could walk away right now.
You could walk away, but there's an opportunity here for more money. Isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
10 million, Cass.
You know, for the first time since I've set foot in this adventure, the money is less important to me than the other reason that I would probably end up doing this, which is to make sure that Snag's not, Doña Sustin, the people in Kelgis are okay. That I hate to use the word, a feeling for.
I didn't realize you had feelings.
Me
See,
neither.
that's a good development.
I sometimes do, but sometimes I feel this urge come after me. It is strange. Not feeling type the opposite. I'm all over the place, but I just need some time to think. I think this is a big moment for me, and I do not feel like everyone else so willing just to jump into the abyss.
Certainly something we need to think on. You could take the easy money, sell the ship.
Yeah, it is a group decision. I think this one, my friend. Perhaps
What,
on the
to
show.
sell the ship?
Anything at this point with the ship, yes.
Suppose.
All right, maybe we should end there for today then.
Awesome.
And then we'll, yeah, just sort of have a think over the week. I will be able to get like some blueprints and stuff to you at some point.
Cool.
All right.
Cheers.
Cool. All
Cool,
right.
thanks for playing.
See you next. Oh, sorry. Should I shut the?
No, it's fine.
Okay. See you next week.
Accurate.
Taggers.
Accurate.